Hello, welcome. This is Susan Taylor Shire, and we are in the field of soul mastery, Treasure Chest Tuesday, and speaking about the treasure chest of you as a love fest. And our topic today is how to find and do create from the antidote for suffering. There are creative ways out of suffering. And in this world right now, there is no shortage of suffering going on for many people. The trick for us is, how do we help in the transformation process without struggling and suffering in it, right? We are, let's see, what is it? We are the change we wish to see. I like that phrase. Hadn't thought about that one in a while. So how do we inspire, uplift, and bring forth creation in the midst of all of this that's going on? And every day something pops up on the news feed or wherever it is. It seems to be all over the place, because I have many clients, friends, that say they don't watch the news, but they seem to know more of what's going on than I do sometimes even. So it's like somehow it's osmosis, it's getting to us. We're discovering all sorts of things. So let's see, let's take a situation. Someone was speaking in the Sacred Soul Circle membership site, which I just love, by the way. It's an opportunity for me to go deep and answer questions, do psychic soul readings, and speak about the pulsation of what's going on currently, not from the outer, but from the inner. And we do guided journey meditations. It's just so fantastic. What a beautiful, beautiful group of beings from all over the world. So someone was asking about how to work with the fact that they just feel horrible about what's going on in the world of nature. Now, we just had an oil spill in Southern California, and she lives in Southern California, so it hits home when it's close by physically. And she's obviously, as we all are, very concerned. Fires, earthquakes, you name it, it's happening, right? How do we work with that creatively? How do we not feel our hearts crushed and feel a sense of hopelessness, helplessness, powerlessness, and those guys out there aren't doing squat about it. What are we going to do, right? That can come up. So here's what I offered to her. This is something we talked about quite a bit. Oh yes, I'm just back from my number 10 retreat. Yay! It was in Sedona. Everyone knows where Sedona is. It's one of those one-word names of location. and yes, it's in Arizona, in case you don't know. An incredible vortex of energy that we love to be in and create in. And oh my gosh, what a magnificent, luminous group of people gathered together this time. It was fantastic. And this was one of the topics that came up, because we all have triggers as it relates to things that are happening in our outer world. And I will remind you, it's a transformational time, these years, not months, years, hang in there. And so there are going to be many situations coming up for transformation that have been happening for a long time, but we get to see them in their ugly cry stage, so to speak. So how do we handle that? So she was talking about nature. Now, when we go into those deep places of, oh my God, say an oil spill happens, oh my God, which is natural for us to do. Oh my God, that's horrible. Why isn't somebody doing something about it? This does not work for me. Those are understandable reactions. To be numb about it is not real. Because if we want to change something, we have to have a feeling in ourselves that that's not okay, right? That's not okay for that to happen. We want to see a different kind of world. We want to see change. We want to see nature being a pure reflection of what it's meant to be, which is life eternal. And that's how it has been. So how do we contribute in that beautiful land of helping nature, Gaia. And we're all talking about bringing in the new earth. This new earth is being ushered in because of us, and because we have new ways of looking at things, and because we inspire and uplift transformation in the world through ourselves. It's an energy world, right? So seeing something like an oil spill, or seeing what's going on in various places, whether it relates to abortion, the Taliban, the whatever's going on. You can have those normal reactions, but then it's very important to come into your creative space, which is out of survival, which is where these feelings come from. This feeling of, oh my God, something bad is happening and something's being taken from us and we're not going to survive, and all those things. When you look at it, it is survival reaction. When you go into the field of creation and come into your heart, what is it I wish to create now as an antidote, as a turnaround, as a seed for transformation in this situation? So this is something that can apply to everything. You will say, not just, I'm sharing love and light from your head, from your neck up. That isn't enough anymore. There needs to be a whole body of a feeling of contribution from the all of you that wants to see where it can lead, for instance. So what you're going to do is feel in that creative sense of you, come into a place of creation, whatever it takes. Looking at beautiful orchids will help. Come into your heart space and feel that sense of, what do I want to create here? What do I want to create in relationship to nature? And I want to speak to all nature, all life directly. I'm going to exchange energy for assistance in uplifting, inspiring, transforming what is happening, because it is all just a reflection, right? The world is a reflection of what's going on in the hearts of mankind, or the lack of heart of mankind. So when we come into our heart, it transforms, right? Come into your heart with a beautiful feeling of love for Mother Earth, love for nature. Feel it viscerally down to your toes. Feel that connection, communion. Whether it's I think I've talked about it before, but it's such a great example. The Taliban, the women and children in the Taliban that we feel are going to be suffering because of the harshness that's going on there and really coming to focus now. Feel in your heart a sense of, what are we going to create now? Because we're all in this together. So that feeling of inspiration and uplift comes through, I love you, either to the women in the Taliban or to the people the beings in nature, the life force of nature. That feeling of, I love you, you got this, I support you in rising again, because I am rising with you. I am being an uplifting influence, and I trust you because of my heart coming into greater communion and connection with nature in this regard, to come into a place of a beautiful vibration of love for creation and what can be created out of this situation, all the situations. And we are seeing things turn around way more quickly because of what I call inspired action from creation that is occurring more, because we're passionate. This is what I want to see, and I'm going to hold that passion in myself and help bring this forward through myself. And as we were talking about it, say for instance with this whole abortion thing, it's rocking and rolling and up and down, but there's a lot of action going in to it, inspired action This is abortion law in Texas that was just passed a little while ago. For you who don't listen to the United States news so thoroughly as you need to, you don't need to. But the feeling is that we can do something about this. We're going to change this, and my heart is deeply in a creative mode to find creative solutions to a way through, and I'm going to move into inspired action, which is creation through that. It doesn't mean you have to go to your lawmakers. Not everyone has to do that. Some people will. There was a march, for instance, with abortion. Many people participated. Many people participated energetically. There is much we can create from our hearts to help transform these situations and love nature in its finest and bring it forward, for instance. So there is an antidote. The first thing to do is when you recognize that you're triggered, you're angry, you're outraged, what do I want to create as the antidote to suffering? I am not going to sit in suffering of helplessness, hopelessness, powerlessness. I'm going to help be the change I wish to see. And sometimes that is just energetic, but it has to have a passion and a sense of creation, contribution in it to make statements, proclamations of declaration. Now, we can also see this in family situations, which is closer to home, and all of us have that. We don't need to read the news to have family situations that hurt our hearts, right? They hurt our hearts. What do we do in that situation? We will extend ourselves to the people that are hurting our hearts. It's our trigger, right? And go into feeling the creation of who that soul is, who that heart and soul is. Say if it's your brother and you found out he's doing drugs or dealing drugs, something like that. I'm making that up, okay? You're going to reach into what you know his heart and soul is all about, because he's a beautiful being. You know that about him, or you wouldn't be triggered by this. You know him to be someone finer than what he's doing in the outer. Connect with his soul. Create with his soul. I know you to be an amazing, strong man of conviction. I know you to be a heart-centered, beautiful space of creation, whatever it is, and keep repeating that in yourself. Send that vibration, that signal to that person. It is so helpful, creating from your heart and soul and helping that person to create more from their heart and soul. You can do, and it will make a difference. There are many ways to make a difference in this world, and it is up to you to find them for yourself, and I support you 100% in doing that. Yay! This is your time, this is your place, and transformation is in our hands. How beautiful is that? So stay tuned. I'm going to be doing an immersion in November. Mark your calendars, to help you connect with your multidimensional self and know how to bring more of that forward in its beauty in the world. It's for all of you high-level souls that know who you are, and you know you have multidimensional gifts and strengths and purposes to bring, and want more clarity about how to do that. I've been doing this for many years, and we're going to have an immersive, intensive in the middle of November so that you can have the greatness of all you're bringing in finer contribution in this world. So stay tuned, much more to come. So much love fest to have with you as we anchor creation through all that is in transformation. Blessings of love to each one.